Hey everybody out there, it is summertime and I'm ready for summer. I got my Hawaiian shirt on and everything, so that's pretty cool. I'm all set to go. But I want to talk to you guys about something today about called military offsets. And these military offsets will lead to what I'm going to really end the video with, which is the use of autonomous wingman drones, where you're flying a jet and you have maybe like 4 drones that are accompanying you to help you with your mission. So that's kind of exciting. But let's start talking about these offsets. So what is an offset? So in this case, we're talking about military strategy. And the offset is something that gives you an advantage over your opponent. And that advantage is going to be based on technology most of the time. All right, so the first offset was in the 1950s. And it was after World War II, of course, and the Russians were really kind of emerging as our next threat. And they had a huge army, and they were willing to like maybe start battles here and there to spread us all over the world. That's kind of what their thinking was, and we did not want to be spread out so thin around the world. So we wanted to keep our manning down while still being able to provide a military response should Russia do something. So what we did there is Dwight Eisenhower relied on nuclear weapons. So we were able to keep our manning numbers down, and we relied on developing all these nuclear weapons that we currently have, and Russia has too. But that was an offset at the time, meaning we had it and Russia didn't have it. So it was an advantage we have. An offset is kind of like an advantage using technology. Now we've lost that offset in a way throughout the Cold War. So that offset is kind of like null and void at this point because Russia also has actually more nuclear bombs than we do, and they have different methods of delivering those as well, hypersonics and things like that. They also have mobile ICBMs, which we don't have. But our second offset was still related to giving us an advantage on the battlefield over our opponents without having to utilize so many resources and people. So the second one was precision targeting. So precision targeting, we're talking about being able to put bombs on target that are accurate. It's hard to imagine how hard it is to just drop a bomb from, say, even 1,000 feet, which is pretty low, and hit a target. It's like, imagine if you're driving down the road, maybe 70, 80 miles an hour, and you have a tennis ball, and then there's a little, 6-inch box on the side of the road, and you're driving 70 miles an hour, and you need to drop this tennis ball right at the right moment to hit that box. And that's not even anywhere near as hard as it is to hit a target from 1,000 feet. But that's kind of what we're talking about here. People don't realize how hard it was to be precise with our bombs. So anyway, throughout the 80s though, we developed laser guided bombs. And we've also developed, we're able to develop heat-seeking bombs that can target other aircraft through using heat signatures. And of course, GPS, which is one of the most accurate ways to put a bomb on target. For example, our nuclear weapons back in the day, they were able to get to a precision of about 1.3 miles, which isn't too bad when you're talking about nuclear weapons. But if you're talking about actual conventional weapons, then 1 mile, 1.3 miles is just not good enough. And nowadays we can actually hit, not only can we hit a specific building, but we can hit a specific corner of a building. And not a specific corner of a building, we can hit a specific corner and floor with a smaller bomb that could hit that particular office or whatever, or apartment or whatever have you, and not take down the whole structure. So that's precision targeting, where we're not going to be having all these innocent people killed because we can target just the bad guys. Now that's really, it sounds great and everything, it doesn't always work out, but that was the second offset. So the third offset happened in about 10 years ago, around 2013, 2014. And third offset was about developing autonomous and AI tools to help us in warfare. So we saw this borne out a lot with our Predator drones, our Reaper drones. We have drones that are firing missiles. Now these aren't autonomous drones though, because obviously they're piloted by there are remotely piloted aircraft, so they're piloted by somebody in another part of the world. But that's kind of getting us there to just continue to develop our lethality, our autonomous drone technology, and maybe some AI stuff. So now people are talking about the fourth offset. There's not really been a specific code, a specific description of the fourth offset that I have found, but they're talking about the fourth offset by wanting to pair AI type drones with actual manned vehicles. So they want to pair autonomous drones with a manned aircraft, for example. Now this could also be spread to the ground troops. Like say you're an infantry, you could have a little drone flying with you, flying ahead, looking and see if there's any threats around, that sort of thing. That would be a perfect use of that. It's kind of like it's like human technology working together, but they're more autonomous. You're not telling it what to do; it already knows what to do, so it's going to fly around and look for what it needs to look for, and then give you the information if something's dangerous up there. In the sense of a fighter pilot in the Air Force, you could have, for example, an F-35 pilot. An F-35 pilot is flanked on either side by a couple of autonomous drone aircraft. Now, this aircraft, they're going to have weapons. Obviously, they're going to have guns. They're going to have munitions, missiles, and they're going to, but they're going to be they're not going to be run directly by the pilot of the aircraft or the Wizzo in that aircraft. What's going to happen is these drones, autonomous drones that they'll have AI technology in them. They will kind of go on they'll go on whatever the pilot's doing. So they're just going to follow the pilot. If the pilot engages in a target, then they'll pile on and engage the target as well. So they'll basically follow what the pilot does and act like another force, basically another aircraft that's piloted, but it's not piloted. And they also have said that these drones, autonomous drones, well, when it's getting really dangerous, they could also be used as a missile themselves. So since there's not a person in there, they could target something that is posing a threat to the pilot, and they could head straight for that and just kamikaze into it. These things are expendable in a way, so that they're very expensive, but they're expendable in a way that if they can help the mission, then they can actually just send that drone onto the target and blow up, and you got no more bad guys. So that's sort of a quick rundown of the offsets. I think it's super interesting, and I think it's great that we are getting this AI stuff and autonomous drones into our warfare. Though definitely be careful, be skeptical. It's not all sunshine and roses here. Yeah, you never know what kind of stuff can go bad with this technology. We just saw yesterday one bad line of code and airports around the country could not operate because they did not have their computers. The one line of code crashed their entire computer system. Be careful about the autonomy stuff, but this is really exciting, and I think that we should definitely push for more of this sort of military defense that we have in the future. So let me know what you think, and talk to y'all later. Bye.